What's up guys, so I just bought a truck. Bought the thing in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Of course had to drive it back home, and then one day later I drove down to Tennessee to Bristol for the Cleetus and Cars and Bristol 1000. Back to the action. After Bristol, drove down to the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area for a little vacation. Then, of course, that started the long journey back home.
Alrighty, here she is. This is the brand new 2011 Ford F350, and it did come exactly like this when I purchased it, with the brush guard and the cap. Makes it look like an old man's truck. So ignore the dirt on it, probably from mowing this dirt patch here. Even the bed of this thing is really clean. I mean, it was dirty when I bought it, but I cleaned it out and there is no dents anywhere in that bed. Now looking at the interior of this thing, it is absolutely spotless. This seat here, the driver's seat, has a little bit of wear, but not bad. And then also on top of the doors, it is bleached a little bit from the sun and faded. But other than that, this thing is perfect. I did not find any sort of issues with this interior whatsoever. It is so clean. Here's a look at the back seats. Like I said, just everything is in such good condition. And being that this thing is a Lariat, it is by far the bougiest vehicle I have ever owned. It has the power folding mirrors, it has heated and cooled seats, it's got the brake controller for the trailer, it's got a backup camera in the rear view mirror, and despite this being like the lowest model radio they put in these trucks, it is the first vehicle I've owned that has Bluetooth. Hard to believe that people have had this technology in vehicles since 2011. And I don't even think I'll have to put any money into the sound system. It sounds pretty darn good, and even has a subwoofer right there tucked behind the rear seats. And I did decide to go with the 6.2 liter gas engine. These things are just proven, they're very reliable, they're easy to work on, it's cheap to work on them. I really wanted a diesel, but it just didn't make sense for the amount I was going to be pulling this trailer. The new diesels are just so unreliable with all the emission systems on them, and they're also extremely expensive to maintain and work on. And then any of the older diesels, with all the emissions off of them, they're just either clapped out or people are asking insane prices for them. So this was a great compromise. Now it is not all sunshine and rainbows with this thing. If we crawl up underneath it, it does have a little bit of rust, to be expected from a vehicle from Pennsylvania that is this old, and it is starting to flake a little bit. But I think if I can start taking care of this rust now and get ahead of it, it's gonna last a long time. Now here's the biggest issue with this truck. If we go up underneath the rear wheel well, This bed rail here is starting to crush. It's like this on both sides. It's just rusting out so bad that it doesn't have the structural support it needs anymore to hold the bed, and it just starts crushing and the bed gets lower. It is such a common problem on these Fords. Not to worry though, I got the new bed rails, so I plan on installing those, and I also plan on doing a little bit of painting to try to get ahead of that rust. And like I said, since I do want to be pulling that trailer with this truck, I plan on changing out all the fluids in it and just doing all the general maintenance on it to make it as reliable as possible. So I will see you guys on the next one where we're going to be getting this truck fixed up.